Was Fijai one of the top three schools that you chose?
Absolutely,
Okay, yeah,
100%.
we had just three choices. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. You have three choices. So I did
Mhm.
Fijai. My first choice was at Southern College, and then I did Fijai,
Yep.
second choice, and then I did. Um, I think I did GSTS, and then I did Fijai on the third choice. Yeah,
Okay, okay. And then you eventually got Fijai.
yeah, I got Fijai. Yeah, I got Fijai.
Did you choose science as well for your choice with
Um,
Fijai?
well, I think initially I've always wanted to study science, and when I came in, the head teacher at the time, Mr. Blanton, was a very close friend of my dad, so he was recommending I
No.
do general arts because he was trying to,
Okay.
because my dad did general arts, and then he actually taught my dad in secondary school, so they had
Oh,
that
okay.
teacher-student relationship, and he thought that because this is my dad, I might probably want to emulate what my dad did, so he offered general arts, and then I did say that I prefer science. So he still put me in general arts, but I went into the science class, and then I stayed there for the first month, and then eventually they had to register me with the science subject. Yeah,
You sneaked into the science
I did
class
sneak into the
when you
science
were.
class because I didn't like the general arts class. Yeah.
So we called him Adisco. Now let's jump in quickly. There was an issue that I remember. I don't know if it is right, if my memory serves me right. So once your dad came to, I think I don't know if it was your dad or it was a male relative that came to campus and he was looking for you, Bernard Assuon. He asked everybody, he was visiting. He asked almost everybody. Nobody knew Bernard Assuon. Then luckily, one of your mates came around. I think he was passing by, and then he heard the man like frustrated, asking everybody, "Or Shisha Bernardson,"
No,
but
no, no, let
nobody
me
seemed to know Bernardson.
let me
The
actually.
guy,
I would I would
the
I
guy.
would
Okay.
I would say it this way. I would say it this way.
Mhm.
So he was my father first of all, and my
Okay.
father came looking for me, and like you rightly said, he was asking people of my name, So Nana
Mhm.
Nana Adzekyee a son, so
Mhm.
Adzekyee, and a lot of people don't know me by those names. So he actually saw me coming out from Anisim
Oh.
3. So when he saw me coming
Okay.
out of Anisim 3, he just shouted, "A disco boy." You see that thing? So when he shouted, "A disco
Okay.
boy," then immediately the seniors, who were around, Aboloway, Acidic, all those guys
Mhm.
who heard that disco boy says, "Hey, Charlie, some first year come and they call him a disco. You see, in father said they call him a disco. So everybody started shouting
Oh.
at disco. So that's how the Adisco then faded into the system, and then
Ah.
everybody started calling me Adisco.
Welcome to another edition of the Chronicles of Life. The Fijai Special Edition, the Fijai Millennium Group 2000 Year Group Special Edition. As I've mentioned in previous editions, um, it's been 25 years since we completed Fijai. And as we are about to celebrate our 25 years anniversary, I'm just inviting a few of my friends that are scattered around the world to have conversations about how the school has impacted their life, what they are currently into, and all the small chats that goes around that we missed having and some which we haven't had. Adisco. Adisco is my next guest. As I mentioned before, I do not introduce my guests. I like them to introduce themselves. So, but before we do that, yeah, He was asking me, I'm in my Chelsea jersey. Yeah, 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 of course. We just won the Club World Cup, so we have to rub it in. You understand?
Yeah, I know
They
that
didn't give us a chance, but yeah,
was a good game. I think.
yeah, it was a when
Yeah.
you say it was a good game, when you say it was a good game, you are underrating the whole thing.
Oh no.
It was a super game.
Yeah,
It was a super game. We're
I
not
think
giving any chance.
Chelsea was phenomenal and extraordinary. They played quite well. I wouldn't
Okay.
necessarily underrate or take anything away from the boys. I think they really came with a plan and it worked perfectly for them. I think the world have seen how PSG has led and how they've annihilated. I mean, most of the top clubs like Real Madrid, they've done to us now. They eliminated
Hmm.
Liverpool from the Champions League, and then they did to Inter Milan in the finals. They also did to Atletico Madrid, and then of course they did to Bayern Munich as well. So I think by and large, with these top clubs being under their feet, everybody wasn't expecting Chelsea to do what Gareth Bale would say that, PSG have been PSG, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I think
What
I was, said again,
what team do you support? What team do you
Liverpool,
support?
I support Liverpool.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
Liverpool fans are sometimes candid. I was hoping you were going to say Manchester United. Then I'll tell you
No,
you are the
I
first
haven't, I never had the opportunity
Manchester
to support
United fan.
Man United. I think, uh, I don't have anything against United, but obviously, I've always been a fan of Liverpool and I like Liverpool, you know, so that's it.
Okay, that's a beautiful way to introduce the show anyway. My name is Razak Kofi. Remember, this show airs on YouTube on Zaki Media TV. Zaki Media TV. Check us out there, subscribe, and then, of course, just keep following us for more conversations of this nature. And for this season 2 of the Chronicles of Life, it's all about Fijai, year 2000 year group. And we're having just conversations about the school and how it has impacted on us. And as we go back to celebrate our 25-year anniversary, that is the homecoming in September. And we are hoping to get together in September in Ghana to have the celebration. So, as I mentioned, my guest introduced themselves on the show. So he's going to tell us his name, the house he was in on Fijai campus, and where he is currently located. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. My name is Bernard Assuon, and I was in Annecy House. Um, I was in Annecy House, I think in first year I was in room 3, and then
Okay.
I came to room 2 in second year, and then I stayed in there for the final year as well. And then I did science, and then I'm based in the United Kingdom at the moment.
Okay. So, one question that runs through, I think it's so far been the first question that I ask everybody, apart from them mentioning their name, is was Fijai one of the top 3 schools that you chose?
Absolutely,
Okay,
100%.
we had just 3 choices. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. You have 3 choices. So I did Fijai. My first choice was at Southern College, and then I did Fijai, second choice, and then um, I think I did GSTS, and then I did Fijai on the third choice. Yeah,
Okay, okay. And then you eventually got Fijai.
yeah, I got Fijai. Yeah, I got Fijai.
Did you choose science as well for your choice with
Um,
Fijai?
well, I think initially I've always wanted to study science, and when I came in, the head teacher at the time, Mr. Blanson, was a very close friend of my dad, so he was recommending I do general arts because he was trying to
Okay.
because my dad did general arts, and then he actually taught my dad in secondary school. So they have
Oh,
that
okay.
teacher-student relationship, and he thought that because this my dad, I might probably want to emulate what my dad did. So he offered general arts, and then I did say that I prefer science. So he still put me in general arts, but I went into the science class, and then I stayed there for the first month, and then eventually they had to register me with the science subject. Yeah,
You sneaked into the science
I did
class
sneak into the
when you
science
were.
class because I didn't like the general arts class. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What particularly do you like about science that you
Um,
did everything?
growing up, I'd always wanted to study medicine. I think I have that natural inclination or gift to interpret situations relating to medicine. So I had always
Okay.
loved medicine, and growing up, it was always on my lips. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a doctor. Yeah, that kind of thing. So I had just that desire to do anything that would lead me to medicine. Yeah.
Mm. Did you start off from the boarding house, or you were a day student before later being admitted into the boarding house?
I started straight in the boarding house from first year to third year. I started straight from boarding house. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Straight up in an AC house.
Straight up in Annecy House. Yeah,
What? Okay.
it
Was
was, yeah, go on. Yeah, go on. I'm listening.
was your choice of Fijai like what did you have any siblings or any family members that had already attended Fijai that influenced that choice?
Um, to be, sh- to be very candid, I don't really, um, recall knowing
Or it
any
was because
siblings or
family that
relatives,
is
attending Fijai. I do have some distant relation who attended Fijai, but like I just said, it's distant. So I didn't know by then when I was entering. Yeah.
okay, okay. So it wasn't because of some crash that you were chasing to school. That is why
No,
you
no,
chose.
no, no, no. It wasn't that at all. It wasn't that at all. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay, okay. And how was the very first time that you got okay, so you sneaked into the science class. At what point did you sneak in? The very
In the
first
early
few
stages,
days
I
or
think in the very early
when?
stages, when we started, if you would recall, when we started, we were not straight away in the courses that we chose. We were all in the assembly hall for the
Yes,
orientation,
yes.
and then we were just mixed up somehow. We went to
Yeah,
different
yeah.
classrooms for orientation. So I think the first few weeks was like that. And then, of course, at one point when they did the list, they put the list on the notice board, and I kind of saw my name on general art class. So I went to the administration. I think I met one of the administrators. I was like, I think I'm in the wrong class. And she said that, oh no, if there's anything, I should be there for now. And if there's any changes, it will happen eventually. So I think I waited. I went in there. I was a bit, you know, kind of jittery. Like I was really waiting to get into the science class. So the first week, second week, it wasn't happening. So I immediately went in the science class, and then I just made myself available in there. Then actually, I had a few friends who were also in the same dormitory, so we were just clicking along and so on and so forth. Yeah, so that was how it went.
Oh,
So I was
okay.
so when I remember when they take the register, my name was not in the register. So most teachers will take the register and then they will write my name. They write my name
Okay.
just to say that this person was there as well. And then it was happening like that. So when I come back to the dormitory, then the art class will tell me your name was mentioned in art class. So
Mention it in
yeah,
class.
where were you? And I said I was in science, and then it was like that. So between a few of our friends, we're just having those conversations, behind closed doors, and then eventually, when I stayed in science for pretty much the start of the course, I had my notes and everything. So I
Mhm.
remember I remember one day I was walking down the dormitory, and then Mr. Blanson saw me through his window, and then he called me, and then I was like, I would have free. What's not bad in pa? Catch your day call arts na arts na
That's
science na I would a beti do science doesn't do more from you know. So, yeah, and then I said that I'll do whatever it takes. You know, I mean, yeah. So it was quite an interesting thing. But then that was it really. So that ended there, and then I found myself in science, and then I went through the science course. Yeah.
interesting. Do you remember some of the very few friends that you made in the class, in the science class?
I mean, I was the type of student that had everybody uh, as a friend. I think I can mention all the names of the students that I was in the same class with. So from maybe Atakujo Amua, popularly known as Attain, Philip Ifabwai,
Mhm,
who eventually became the school prefect,
mhm,
Maxwell Ofori, Bindine,
mm,
um, B. Mali, Aqua Cornelius. I mean, the girls were, of course, who are now mothers and then ladies, Lisbeth Damois. We have the likes of Rosalind Zuta, or Mrs. Rosalind Zuta now.
mhm,
I mean, I can list quite a few: Stella Lemaire, Stella Deborah,
mhm. You made
Bessie
friends with
Otoville.
all of them in the
We
first few
were
days.
I got along with everybody. I got along with
Oh,
everybody. I always say that I was the type of student that, you know, as a kukumutia inside a homo for like I got along with everybody. So whether it's start times or excitement times or whatever it is, I was there, and we had a really good time. Yeah, we had a really
mhm.
good time there.
And in those first few days, did you feel any intimidation with the type of schools that the others had come from?
Um,
Like we had this perception that if this person was coming from the school, Chede, they had their game on and stuff. So you were trying to mark your territory in the first few weeks,
yeah, I
you
mean,
know.
obviously there is that there is that kind of notion that people are coming from is it services, people are coming from top wage, people are coming
Chapel
from
Hill,
Chapel Hill, um, is it
Ridge International
Rage International? There's the one next to GSTS, that one, Mayan Forces, or
Service,
no, there is one Air Force or something like that, Air Force, and
yeah.
then Mayan Barracks,
Young Christian.
Young Christian and all them lots and stuff like that. But you know, I I wasn't I wasn't moved by any of that. Sincerely, I
Mm,
wasn't moved by any of that because I also saw myself that I have the ability to do whatever it takes to progress through my learning ladder. You know what I mean? And even though I would have wished to be, you know, around them growing up more, but then obviously
mhm.
I wasn't within the metropolis, so it's a little bit of difference. But then of course I also proved that I could also do the course, and then I showcased what I could do as well. So yeah,
Okay, okay. All right. This is Chronicles of Life. I'm in conversation with Bernard. Ish, you're sending sometimes
it's
it's
on,
Ishon,
it's on, yeah,
right?
yeah,
Ishon,
it's on,
yeah,
yeah,
Bernard Assuon.
yeah,
And so we called him Adisco. Now let's jump in quickly. There was an issue that I remember. I don't know if it is right, if my memory serves me right. So once your dad came to, I don't know if it was your dad or it was a male relative that came to campus and he was looking for you, Bernard's son. He asked everybody who was visiting. He asked almost everybody. Nobody knew Bernard Assuon. Then luckily, one of your mates came around. I think he was passing by, and then he heard the man like frustrated, asking everybody, "Or Shisha Bernard Assuon,"
No,
but
no, no, let
nobody
me
seemed to know Bernard Assuon.
let me
The
actually,
guy, the
I
guy.
would,
Okay.
I would say it this way. I would say it this way.
Mhm.
So he was my father first of all, and my
Okay.
father came looking for me, and like you rightly said, he was asking people of my name, you know. So Bernard
Mhm.
Nana Adzekyee, a son, you know. So
Mhm.
Adzekyee, and a lot of people don't know me by those names. So he actually saw me coming out from Anisim
Oh,
3. So when he saw me coming
okay.
out of Anisim 3, he just shouted, "A disco boy." You see that thing? So when he shouted, "A disco
Okay.
boy," then immediately the seniors, you know, who were around, Aboloway, Asidik, all those guys
Mhm.
who heard that disco boy says, "Charlie, some first year come and they call him a disco." You see, in Father said they call him a disco. So everybody started shouting
Oh.
at disco. So that's how the Adisco then faded into the system, and then
Ah.
everybody started calling me
Okay.
Adisco. So
Okay. That's
he
good.
was looking for me. He was looking for me, and then he was asking people, my son, blah blah blah, and then people could not because we were new in the system, so people didn't
Okay.
know us by names, but then by faces, yes, probably. That so the good thing was I just came out from the room, and you know the room faces the front, so he was stood
Mhm.
in the first, I think he was stood in front of the first
Yeah, and
staircase,
this
just
is
at
the
the back of the
first
head
like.
teacher's office. Yeah, so he was stood there, and then he just shouted my name, Adisco boy. So there, and then all the seniors, Sparrow, and then all those guys, Acidic and all those guys, they just jump on, and then they started spreading the name Adisco, and then from that point on, that was it.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay.
that was
So it
how
was
the name
your
came
dad
about.
who actually introduced the name to the school,
That's right. Yeah.
Adisco. That is how like he refers to you back home.
Yeah. I'm called at this school. All my brothers, all my siblings, everybody has got their nickname.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Everybody
Okay.
has got their
That's
nickname.
that's
Yeah. So
that's
from home, you know, and that's why for my one, you know, because I grew up in Cape Coast, um, we my father was a lecturer at the University of Cape Coast, so we grew up in Cape Coast, and from when I started talking, you know, I had always liked Adisco somehow because Adisco was a very popular school in Cape Coast, or it is a popular school in Cape Coast during games times
yeah.
and stuff like that. And living around the university campus, you know, we have a lot of, you know, relationship with that. So we go there for games because I was at the university practice primary school, and then we use some of their facilities and stuff like that. So I think I've always said that I wanted to go to Adisco. That's why Adisco was my first choice, you know. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I think that was how the name started, and then of course my name, middle name Adzekyee. Adzekyee. My father likes to take shortcuts, so Adzekyee said Adisco, Adzekyee, Adisco. That's it. And then everybody has their
Mm.
own nickname, you know, and stuff like that. So that's how the name came. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, do you remember like any one or any particular teachers that had the most influence on your stay on campus?
I think I do remember. I do remember Mr. Sai. Mr. Sai was a physics teacher. My favorite
Hmm.
amongst all the teachers was Mr. Aka, who was our biology teacher.
Okay. Yeah.
I love the
Remember
man to be proper. Like, you know, he made teaching so symbolic. Like, you know, when somebody comes into the lesson and from the start of the lesson he does the introduction. You know, at that time, in I think in one of our orientation sessions, they told us that we were going to be learning by the teachers will be reciting and then we'll be writing the notes because
okay.
from junior secondary school you get copied for. You copy it on the board and then you copy it
Yeah.
back. So this is the first time that you have somebody reciting and then you are making notes. So
Hmm.
um, with Mr. Akka, he comes into the lesson and then from the start to the 45 minutes and he does that diligently, with he reads the thing right from his mind and. So I think I imitated him most of the times when we have sessions, free sessions, and we are in the class, and then I'll be walking up and down in front of the class, and I'll be reciting the notes, whether it's those kingdom, final. I don't remember those biology terms, but those were phenomenal
Hmm.
moments. Like I'm trying to imitate him more or less, me
Yeah.
learning and you know, memorizing whatever that we've learned. So it made me become my favorite. And then, of course, we have Mr. Innocent, who was our chemistry teacher. Uh, Mr. Sai did physics, Mr. Aka did the biology. And then we had Mr. Kobna, who did elective maths. Um, he was also great as well. I remember an incident where um, he, I think, so I think came into the class late, and then
Hmm.
he was wearing a massive boots, like proper, those times, where those
Combat.
times where there wasn't like even a
Combat.
combat, like those times where people wear the big boots and then they put pieces of cushions or foams, they cut it, they put it on top of the tank, like they lace it up and then the thing becomes so big.
Yeah.
It was a fashion thing. So I think I dressed like that. And then, the boot was brown in color and then he came in late. And then the man was looking at him, Mr. Kovner was looking at him also. Like he said that, hey, umpabwede, ubane babeshe, ne babeshe, ne babeshe. So it was so funny that the way he said it, everybody was laughing, what I mean? Neba neba beshe. And then it was like, and then we all laughing, and then he was like, when you upgrade that, I bet, I bet. Mm,
That was interesting.
very, very.
Yeah, still on Life, and I'm in conversation with Adisco. Adisco was in Anesi house. Anesi was like green, right?
That's
Like
right.
green color.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Yeah. And Adisco also studied science. We had only one science class, correct?
Yes, we did. Yeah, science one. Yeah.
How
But
many were you in the class?
I think if I recall, we were about 52,
Okay.
52. Yeah, 52 or so. But then, unfortunately, we lost one person, in Michael Kute at one point. May his soul rest in peace. I think in the first year we
Mm.
lost him. Um, so when we
Ah,
went,
Tigbe was also in your class, right?
yeah,
Oh,
Tigbe
you
joined
lost
us.
him whilst
No, no, no.
you lost him whilst we were in school.
Michael Kote, we lost Michael Kote. Tigbe joined us in second year. He joined us in second
Oh,
year
okay.
from St. John's. So he came in as a midstream. That's why we call it the
Mm,
midstream.
mm.
So he joined us. He came from St. John's. Yeah. So Tigbe, yeah, joined us in second year, and then we all came on to complete. Yeah, but Michael
Okay.
Koche, we call him. I don't remember the name we used to call him.
Mm,
I forgot. I forgot. Or you call him Two No Face. Two No Face. He's got this. He's got these looks that you know. He's a very calm person. He's a very calm, very shy person. But his appearance is so like he comes out very bold. So the seniors were like,
mm-hmm.
look, those people that I mean, you see them, they've got that kind of presence, but then they've got that faint voice, and you wonder how
Yeah.
come it's just I don't know the literary
How can
device for that. Whether
yeah,
it's
yeah,
whether it's an
exactly.
oxymoron or whether it's yeah.
Yeah.
So he
How
had
can
that
his
he had
face
that yeah he had that kind of yeah, and then they gave him the name Two No Face, and then we call him like
mm,
that Two No Face, yeah, something like that, yeah.
oh, okay. May his soul rest in peace.
May his soul rest in peace, absolutely.
Nice. So what other situation do you remember? like in class or in the dormitory that you are very fond of?
Oh, there I can tell you a host of them.
Why were you in school when St. John's attacked us?
I was in school when
After that,
after prep or something.
okay,
Yeah, yeah, we were in
after prep,
school. Yeah.
what exactly were you doing
I think we had finished prep. We had finished
then?
prep, and I think prior to the incident, we had a fanfare. No, 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 it wasn't a fanfare. I think there was
No, it
an
wasn't a
event.
fun. I
We
think
did
Interco or
we did intercall or
that we
something like
did
that at
somewhere.
JND Park.
Yeah.
At JND Park.
Mm-hmm.
So I think something happened or something might have happened
The
or something.
confusion between them and us.
Exactly at the
Yeah,
JND Park. So
yeah,
I think some of the St. John's students decided to come over to kind of just obviously engage in that unexpected
yeah.
incident.
To
I did
to
remember
attack us
because
in the evening.
they I think they tried to burn the school so, somehow. So
Yes,
they set off the fire, and then I think there were some seniors who were at the time studying at the senior block. So
we were.
they
Yes, were we not in Form 3 then?
no were in second year.
We were in second year.
Yeah,
Okay, we were in second year and the first years had come.
yeah,
So I remember I was in the dormitory. No, I was down there. You remember there was this lady that came over in the evenings to sell this bread and granola paste
yeah. All those
right in front of the
honestly,
yeah, all of those folks. So I was standing there when I heard that they were coming. And I don't know whether it was fortunate or unfortunate for us. The Form ones then had come.
mm,
Yes. And I think one of the seniors in our dormitory had gathered all the cutlasses that they brought. Like the cutlasses were part of the requirement. I don't know whether then we had been ushered into the prefectorial this thing because I had access to the cutlasses.
mm.
So I quickly ran up and then I called everybody to come and take one. Come
I
and take
mean,
one of the cutlasses.
I
And we
remember.
stormed there. Luckily for us, one of the leaders was my mate in GSM.
Okay,
Yeah, one of the leaders, Anderson. He's very tall. Anderson, as I then was like 6'7", thick tall, and like he was feared on the camp on their campus, so he was leading the charge.
yeah.
Then yeah, I when we stormed there, I saw him. Then I started calling. We had a nickname for him back in school. So when I shouted that name, he saw me and then I pulled him over. I'm like, I say, Nahade is where, yente. By then some of them had actually gone into the classes and started the fire.
Mm.
Yeah, but some way, somehow, it didn't,
Yeah,
it didn't catch.
it
Yeah.
didn't light, yeah. So I think yeah, that was what I heard. But of course, when the incident happened, I think the first group of people who confronted the Jones boys, you know, push them back because the John, you see, even though they came to be in that situation with us, they were also a little bit scared. So I think they
Yeah.
when the people pushed back, they tried to leave. So before the issue escalated and a lot of boys were coming out, like we were all coming out, the boys had already, left. They were at the back of the assembly hall heading towards
hmm
is it Pinanco or
Yeah,
something?
in those bushes.
Is that Pinanco, isn't it?
Yeah, Penanco. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah, yeah.
school is Penanco.
That's
The
quick
school
enough.
there.
Yeah. So they were
Yeah.
just heading towards those areas. Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
but I mean,
These are
obviously,
some
yeah. Go
these
on.
are some of the stories that the day students will come in the morning and you be telling them, and then you know that, Charlie, if you are a
Yeah,
day student, you are not part of the school because
yeah,
all the fun stuff happen in the evenings. You just hear stories,
yeah.
you know.
And then I think there was this story as well. You remember when Sky Power first launched? and then there was this program Coast to Coast.
This lab program.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lab
What
program
was
Coast to
the
Coast.
name?
Coast to Coast.
Coast to coast.
That's
Yes,
right.
coast to
And
coast.
then
Yeah.
you call in and then you kind of make song requests for, and
The
at that
lab.
time we had the main payphone, which was the phone booth. You use
Yes.
the
The cat.
prepaid card and stuff like that, I remember some seniors. I don't really want to mention names here for security. And then some of them.
For what security?
Oh no,
For
no, no.
what
I mean,
security? Me, I
obviously,
don't
not
really know.
necessarily. Not necessarily. I mean, obviously, up to now, we don't even know the exact students. I think some of them were prefects because the prefect had
Yeah, some of them.
certain, I mean, privilege that I think we all saw those who
Yeah.
were demoted from their positions, those who lost their positions.
Yeah.
So those
And
were
I
the
think
culprits.
others were also
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I
others.
think yeah, they did the coast to coast phone call, and you know we first of all we were not even allowed radios in the dormitories. I mean, but obviously for the better
They
of
had
life,
radios.
people have radios under their pillows and other things, so we just tune in and then we're listening. So I think when they did the phone call, it was Lighthouse as well. So when they did the phone
Yeah.
call and then they picked up and then they started requesting the songs. They mentioned their name, and then they mentioned their girlfriend's name. It went to the girls' dormitory, and then the girls started
Mhm.
screaming. You see the thing? So the girls started
Oh, okay.
screaming. That's how the whole issue is. When the girls start screaming, when they start screaming like that,
Mhm.
it then triggered the whole host of issues, like because the assistant head is
Yeah.
just opposite them and stuff. And the screaming was too much, and then the boys also started responding. It's like that kind of thing, and then the whole thing just blew out of proportion. And then, of course, I mean, whatever happened after that happened, and then people were demoted off their office. But it was something that people now started sneaking to do those phone calls because people want to talk to their parents or their siblings or something.
Yeah.
If you have the prepaid card, you can just talk from night. I think it's a free call as well when they did it at the time.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah. And,
it's
and I
just
think there was also a trick. There was a trick. If you punch the number and then you kept your hand on some particular knob or something. I think the round one.
the
Then
the
the card.
the that's um the hanging up lever, when you where you hang the phone.
Uh-huh.
So you can use that to key in the numbers. I
The
learned
numbers.
I
Yeah.
learned that I learned that when we went to Thomas Arias's house. We
Okay.
we went to Thomas Arias' house, and then Thomas Arias' grandmother, may her soul rest in peace. I think she's got the house phone in a wooden
Mm-hmm.
um, lock,
Box.
because if she leaves it open, she's gonna pay excessive bills. So the phone is where the dialing parts are in a locker, so you can't use that. But when you hang the phone up,
Yeah.
the
It's a
lever there,
package.
you can use it to key in the number. So when you want to punch, let's say 9, you can hit the lever 9 times,
Mhm.
pop, 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 9, and then you enter. So you just keep the lever and stuff, and it will ring. And then yeah, that was how we
Mm.
learned. So people use that as well to kind of get themselves away with them. And then there are free calls as well. I think there were free calls, certain
Night
numbers
calls.
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
You had to.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
You just had to use a few credits to call for a long one. And then also there was this issue where where the girls were stealing other people's boyfriend using the same payphone. After somebody has spoken, if you slot in your card and then you press redial,
Mm,
the last number that the person spoke to
we'll
is the one
call.
that is going to ring. Yes.
Okay.
So they use that. So there were time and like if you go and you are doing lovey lovey on the phone, it means that Charlie is your boyfriend. So the next person that comes, they just read out and and then later there was some fights and all of that.
Mm.
Charlie, good old days.
Yeah, yeah,
There
yeah.
were
That's
fights,
usual.
people were snatching other people's.
There is always those moments. I think a lot of fights did happen. A lot of fights did happen. between the girls, uh, and then on the boys' side, there was quite a few fights though, but I think on our
The
side, it was no, it wasn't about the girls. I think on our side, the seniors,
yeah,
some of them,
mostly yeah, mostly about food and some
yeah, like some of the
maybe
seniors, I mean, because
taking
of
or sleep
bullying, you know
some
what I mean?
stealing and
Yeah,
yeah.
because of bullying. I think some seniors were overreaching in terms of bullying, and then
Yeah.
they end up provoking, So I think amongst us, there were a few guys who were strong, you know.
Hmm.
So if you know, do something like, for example, the likes of Pusto, you can't bully Pusto for any reason.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
bully Attain, or you want to bully
Hmm.
Nana Boateng, that kind of guys. Sobo, or
Justice.
those guys. Justice actually joined us in, I think Justice joined us somewhere second term in second
Hmm.
year or something. I think Justice joined us second year. I think second year he joined
Oh,
us.
okay.
Yeah, I was in the same room with Justice. Our room was really strong. It was a very strong room, I think, because I was there,
Mm-hmm.
Justice was there, and Mr. Asante, um, Andy was there as well, um,
Hmm.
and then we had Kofi Ayakwa was there. Um, but yeah, that was those names within our year group that was there. Yeah, I think there might probably be one or two. I think this guy was also there as well. I forgot her name. I mean his name actually. Oh, Abeka too was there. Abeka was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Abeka, yeah,
Hmm.
he was there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Nice, nice, nice. So, all in all, you studied science and then we eventually had to leave campus to pursue to pursue tertiary education. Where did you go to from Fijai? But first of all, one, what is that one quote or one thing that you picked up from Fijai that is part of your daily remembrance or something that you still hold on to that you picked from Fijai in all the 3 years that you spent there?
I think one of the things that it's with me as of now is house chores in terms of make tidying or cleanliness. I think
Hmm.
we were taught how to clean, and then we had to do
Hmm.
it well. So I've grown up with that. In
Hmm.
house, try to put everything where it's supposed to be. Normal cleaning, clean as you go attitude in the kitchen. I don't leave things um, just around. I make sure everything is on place and stuff like that. So cleanliness with relating, I mean, with relating to even my personal hygiene and all those bits and bobs. I try to do that presentation wise, stuff that we were taught. We were actually taught how to do ironing. You have to iron your clothes, you have to polish your shoes
Yeah.
for chest service, black on black, black shoes, black belts. If you make a mistake, you do black shoes and brown belts, you're in trouble. Even that alone can, yeah, and
Yeah.
then washing,
Yeah.
I remember my school father, I served Eloy Amande first, and then
Okay.
he taught me you need to have a shirt for Sunday alone, Sunday service. You need to have a shirt for Saturday visiting hours. You need to have two shirts for lessons Monday to Friday, and then you wear one Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you wash it, and then you wear the other one Thursday, Friday. You wash it on Saturday. You have extra. I mean, taught me so many things. Underwears that needs to be tidy and stuff like that. So that's something that I grew up with. I remember one day I went home, and then I that was the first time my mom saw me washing my own clothes, and the way I dried them,
She knew
because
that
she
change
she
has
saw
come.
that changes. There were lots of changes because you wash your white clothes and your khaki trousers and all that, and then you dry them nicely and stuff like that. So that's cleanliness is one thing that I grew up with from Fijai, and then it's really stick with me up till now. Yeah, and then I think
Mm,
the um, the sense of responsibility that comes with taking care of your environment, um, making sure that things are in the right place as well, making sure that you are learning as well, taking full responsibility for your learning, organizing yourself. So the organizational um, bit, making sure what you need to learn from preps for the next day, making sure your notes are all organized and stuff like that. I think it's really um, stayed with me for all this while. Yeah.
okay. So that means all of these like also helped you very much in your tertiary education. Where did you go to next after Fijai?
So I went to Winneba. Um, I went to University of Education, and then I I kind of studied mathematics there. So obviously, we just journeyed through like that. Yeah.
Okay. And at what point did you leave Ghana to the UK?
I left Ghana after the tertiary studies. Oh, I started actually traveling while I was in school. Um, yeah,
Mm,
but then I was to and fro like that. So eventually, when I finished, I did had opportunity to teach at Adisco College. So you see,
okay.
so it now goes back to my desire to be there.
Yeah,
So I eventually
yeah.
went there to teach. So I did at Adisco
For
College.
how long?
I did a couple of academic years there, and then I moved away from there, and then I came to the UK. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. And do you remember any particular incidents that happened in tertiary education, like in your tertiary level to Winneba? No,
Um,
but be- before you no before you go, I forgot to ask you this. Back in Fijai, how
yeah.
many hearts did you break, and who broke your heart?
Oh, it was surprising. I mean, obviously, I didn't break anybody's heart. Trust me,
But
I mean,
somebody broke your
nobody did break my heart either. I kind of
heart.
um, I kind of interacted well with everybody. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times, uh, my mom, parents will be asking, "Oh, do you have a girlfriend?" And so on. But then I try to put it right. I try to put it right. So I would go like, I have, many girls that are friends. You
Maybe
get me?
girl. Yeah.
Yeah. So
But
even
who were you crashing on? Who were you crashing on?
as a crush, I think um interesting question. I mean, that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. I think the closest that of them all, I became more close to. I would say um, Stella. Stella was more closer. Stella in art class. Yeah. So she was.
Stella what?
Say again. You
Stella
want
what? What's her name?
you
Yes.
want a full name?
Of course, I want to know which of the Stellas. There were several Stellas on campus.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously there are a lot of Stella, but Stella Brown for sure.
Stella Ban. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You get taste.
Yeah. So
Okay,
Stella
Stella
Brown
Ban.
was
But
more.
eventually, did you tell her? Did you tell her?
Um,
Or she knew?
I
Or the
think I
POP
think
was all over
I
you?
think I told her because Stella was a day student. Stella was a day student, so I think she joined she joined the boarding house
I
in
think in Form
third
3.
year. Yeah, in third year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
Mm.
eventually
So
when she came. I was more or less like getting very close to her and all that, walking here after prep, those times, after prep, you have to walk somewhere.
And not saying anything. You were
Oh,
just
come on.
walking with her, and she was friend zoning you, and you were not saying anything, or
No,
you
no,
said something.
we're good friends. I mean, Stella is being a good friend, and we still are, we still are.
Okay.
So, we've
But
always been
still
like
not
that.
answering. Were
No,
you friends, or you were more than friends then,
we're
or
just
you
friends.
couldn't spit it out?
We're just friends.
So you couldn't tell her that you liked her,
Now, I didn't even
that you wanted
understand
her.
that concept of likeness. You were, we were not. You see, the interesting thing is
Massa,
like,
no, no. At Form 2, by Form 1, everybody was green. You understand? Like most guys were green. But Form 2, Form 3, everybody understood the concept of boyfriend girlfriend
yes, we
because
do.
we were
But
17, 18, 19 then.
no, no, no. We weren't. Not all of us was. Not all of us were, to be
Okay.
honest.
But even at 15 on Fijai campus, you understood the concept of boyfriend girlfriend because
I,
you were probably a betweener between for your school father and his girlfriend or his other female friends.
I did understand the concept of boyfriend girlfriend,
Yeah.
no doubt. But then
Mhm.
between me and Stella, it was just friendship. Yeah, purely friendship. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's leave it there. And then let's go into tertiary. How did you go on tertiary campus? At this point, you had all the ingredients and all the tutorials and everything ready for adventure on the tertiary campus.
Well, I mean,
How did that go? That
uh,
one went clean.
tertiary, I think
You were a sweeper.
it was a different ball game. I think
Yeah,
by that
you were a
time we
sweeper.
had formed some values of some sort. You get me? And then we were trying to abide within the confines of certain values, I would say. And of course there are Winneba was a little bit different compared to Legon and of course Tech, I would say, because it has some similarities with UCC because of the education programs that they run there. So most students that come in there are predominantly coming from training college and have served in the communities as teachers, and then they are coming to upgrade.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
for us who joined those stream of students right from secondary school, we had a different um, perspective to life because we brought in the youthful exuberance of like ushering straight into it because we coming in, we know that it is it's another layer, what I mean. So we are vibrant, we are on campus 7 on 7, 24 hours we are there because we are not going back home, unlike most students who come in Monday to Friday and then they kind of leave because they've got family or something to take care of back home. Some people come in, some were still working, and then they come in and then they shuffle between work and school and all that. But we were purely like students who were on campus. So we're there weekends and then Monday, Friday, and so on and so forth. So it was just like that. And then, of course, we have the ability now. You got to cook your own food. You got to, kind of manage it properly. Rather than secondary school where we have um, that kind of restrictions as to what you can do. And then, of course, here you got to wake up and go for lectures, make your notes, and so on and so forth. That kind of thing. So it was different entirely compared to secondary school. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well said. We are still on Chronicles of Life, the FOSA Millennium Edition, FOSA 2000 Year Group Edition. And this, as always, is on YouTube, Zaki Media TV. Just check us out there on YouTube, Zaki Media TV. Just follow us, activate the notification so that when we post anything, you'll be the first to know. And please, when you watch, We are very big on feedback. So leave us a comment. We want to do better. We want to get better. So leave us a comment and let us know what you think about what we are doing. So we correct any wrongs, any wrongs that you observe, and then we get better at it. I'm in conversation with Adisco, Bernard Assuon Jr., Nana Adzekyee. He's currently in the UK. So currently, what are you up to? What profession or career are you
So
pursuing?
I've been privileged enough to serve as a teacher in many schools in the UK. Over a decade and and a half ago, I've worked predominantly in education as a teacher of mathematics, and I served as head of house as well. But then I've transitioned into actuarial science now, where I work in
Oh,
insurance. Yeah.
what is actuarial science? A bit of
Um,
education, so that, like people who are watching who are not very familiar with it, they
actually,
know exactly what.
is more or less like you know, just being able to make predictions for the future based on data. So we're trying to help make insurance quotes, for example, calculate, you know, perpetuity and annuity, in terms of investments, for example, for people who want to invest in certain stocks on the stock market or something like that. So that's just in a nutshell what you do in actually really. But then it has predominant, you do more data analysis in its sense and help,
Okay,
people, get the better for their money, and then of course inform them as well to make decisions as well.
okay. That's exciting. It means you personally have a lot of stock
Well,
then.
I'll leave that on the side for now. I don't want to talk about that.
Mm.
Yeah.
One thing that I know very well about like Fijai students is we are big on God. Like I know there are very few of us like Muslims on campus, but I know like I think about 98% of our, like 99% of our mates are Christians,
Mm.
So apart from God, what keeps you grounded outside of work and your profession? I know God runs through everything. That is why I'm saying apart from God, what keeps you grounded?
I'm in terms of my social skills. I prefer playing football. I play football for Bearfield FC. I still do now. Bearfield,
You play football.
I play football. Yeah.
Since when? But you were not playing football.
Yeah, that's the thing.
When
That's
did
the
you
thing.
pick playing football?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean,
That
obviously, I think I started playing football um, somewhere around third year when we were in Fijai. Um,
okay.
Third year when we were in Fijai, and then after school when we were waiting for our results. Between that time until I started uni, that was when I was more active. So at uni, I did
Mm.
play for the school team as well. At the time when I went in there, we
You
played.
played for the
Yeah,
school
yeah,
team.
yeah. I played. I played in three
Hey.
tournaments. So I did my first tournament was the West Africa University Games. And then
Mhm.
I did the Ghana University Students Association Games, GUSA Games, and then I did Wahoo Games as well in the final year. Yeah, so that was
What position do you play? This is like news to me.
yeah, yeah.
And it's strange.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it is strange that you know somebody from secondary school from first year to third year, and then like suddenly they are playing football at university level, like getting selected in the
so
23
so
man squad. of a university.
So
Hey, he even won
so
the
this
trophy and
this
all that.
this trophy I've won. I've got a few trophies to be fair. So this is another trophy I've won as well. This is our personal athlete. I would say I think one
Okay.
is for I think I won this one top goal scorer for the 2022-23 season for my club, and then I did
How
players
many
play
goals?
player. I think I joined Fairfield. I think in the latter part of that season. I think I joined them in January or something like that. So we did a few games up until May when the season ended. So I did about I think it was 14 goals. I think. Uh,
So Belfield is a community team, right?
Fairfield
Or
is a
what is
community
the
team. It's a
level?
Fairfield
What is the
community team that we play in the Berkshire um, tournament, Berkshire League. So
okay.
if you liken it to Ghana, it would be like let's say secondary Takoradi Municipality League, where you have
Mhm.
all the clubs registering to play. So,
Various
but then,
suburbs.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it would be
Okay.
like that. Yeah. So yeah. But then that's what I did really. Yeah. So I a lot of I mean of course I mean people like I said it's a lot of people become a little bit shocked. Most of my schoolmates.
I am shocked. I am
I
personally
wasn't
shocked. Actually.
I wasn't really the type that played when like actively when I was in primary school or JSS or something like that, or even in secondary school, as you know. I didn't really
Yeah.
show myself as that. But I mean, when it came to the inter houses and all that bit, I did my bit. But it's still normal. Like you get all those bits and stuff. But at that level where I did, I think when we went to uh, the West Africa University Games hosted by Tech in
Mhm.
Kumasi, where we played, and then that was the first time I met Alaji Gusa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I met Alaji Gusa, and I was like, "Oh, my person over Boama King Pfizer," you know, and and I was
Hey.
like, yeah, because I mean, I came into football like you're asking me what position I played. I mean, I would prefer playing around the attacking roles, any of the, depending on the
Mm.
formation you play. But attacking
At what
midfield.
at what at what point did you realize that like you could play football
I
or you could
think,
hold
I
your
think,
own against?
I think, when we were just at home waiting for the result, that was when we played. So I think the first coach that had access to me was, there was a man called Ansa Mills. He was
Mhm.
based in Aguna Nkwanta, Ansa Mills. I think wherever he is, yeah, he spotted me. We played normal within the town, you know, and then deputized by Castro's father, Castro the Destroyer's father. You know,
Yeah,
so
I
Castro
know
the
him. I know
Destroyer,
him. That.
you know that man, yeah. He's also a very good
Yeah,
coach. I think so.
yeah.
I think there was a game we were preparing to play in a second division tournament. You know,
Hmm.
you would have to play a round robin to get into the second division in Ghana. You have to play a round robin event. I mean, like a tournament. You know, for 2 days or so. And then if you win that tournament, you come straight into the second division. So we were preparing for that. And then we came to play a friendly match between, there was a team in Kwesimintim. There was a team in
Okay.
Kwesimintim, yeah. So we came to play a friendly match there. And then at that time, that was the time that I met Big Ebo. So Big Ebo
Okay.
So Big Able was brought into, they were calling players. So Big Able came into our camp to join us. So when Big Able came and then he
Okay.
saw me, he was like, That's a ball you could wait
Now,
for Bashan. They know about that. You see that? So he was very negative. Big Abu was very negative, and because he knew me from Fijai, he was very negative. He was like,
of
"Hey,
course.
no more about that. Now the mafia, na kuchna." So
Mhm.
Kasu's father was like, Mama one disrespect will be a woman and papa born, Yabu ya na yedi home come na na kada oni mo born the our didn't bobo. So when the selection came out and I was on the right flank, so we're playing 4-3. Actually, we were playing 4-4-2. So I was more or less the traditional number seven, basically. Yeah, somebody would say, yeah. So Big Ebo was like, he came to me and was like, actually, in your first 11, they're not actually in Bobo. We feel that at the bench, that Macadamia would all come on. So we went in there
Okay,
and
wow.
then eventually we played the Kwesimutin team. It was a very tough match. We played and then I think I gave him an assist to score the first goal. And then he came and he had
Okay.
me as a teacher had me
Bad.
and that was it really. So we won the game 2-1, and then I think we went to dumping. We went to dumping just on the way to Tapa. Dumping. There was another team there
Yeah.
called Manchester. Yeah, dumping Manchester. We played, we scored them, and then so we were actually geared on to get into the second division, which we did. We qualified to play in the second division, and then that was when I then left to start my
Oh, okay. What
uni.
team was that? What team was?
Hunter Rangers,
Oh, okay.
Hunter Rangers. Yeah,
Okay.
so that was
So,
how I
so you
got in the.
actually played third division. You played third division
That's correct. So it
in
will be,
Ghana.
yeah, it will be third division. Yeah, it will be third division coming into second division. Yeah, in a round robin. Mm,
That's interesting. We are still in a conversation with Adisco. Adisco was in an AC house. He's currently an actuarial scientist, right?
that's
I
correct.
can put it that way.
Mm.
Or yeah,
Yeah,
based in the UK. And of course, he attended Fijai Secondary School. I think that we've covered most of our conversation, but there are three questions that I would want to ask before we finally part ways. The first one is 25 years ago, do you ever imagine that 25 years ago you would be here?
um, well, in terms of imagining
You'll be where?
that you'll be
Yeah.
here, that's
Yeah.
that's 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 well, I mean, that's a big question. You know, what I mean, like, one thing I knew growing up was we were just gonna grow. You know, what I mean, and um, we couldn't necessarily knew like from where we stood 25 years ago that it is this point we were going to be. Of course, there are certain things that you could predict, like for example, I'm gonna go to university, finish university, that kind of thing. It was straight cut
Yeah.
because you would have to do that, and then but obviously after that, and navigating through life itself, has been really, really an interesting journey, I would say. And then by the grace of God, I am particularly grateful from how far
Mm,
God has brought me. Many of the things I didn't know I was going to get myself into it. But then,
mhm,
of course, I got myself into it. And of course, there's been a few things I've learned. And then I've also unlearned so many things, you know. So it is quite something that, I mean, of course, if we're gonna talk about them, it's just gonna be another, you know longer time, and
yeah.
yeah. So I
Yes.
mean, obviously,
So
there's quite a lot that we can talk about. To be honest, yeah,
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 I think that having had this conversation with like a few of so far with the few conversations that I've had, I think after this second season, I'm going to do another season, the third one. That is like not school related, that is like life related with all of the people.
Okay.
Because I've come to realize that, yeah, there are so many questions that I want to ask. And sometimes I also feel that there's so much that the guest will want to talk about, but it will not fit into this one. So thank you. So to you that is watching, watch out for another season where I would have most of my schoolmates as well. That one will talk about other things unrelated to school, so that we'll be able to talk more because there are so many questions that. But having had this conversation with you, there's one thing that I've admired about you right now. It looks like you were DB. You understand? You were DB, but you lived it nicely that people hardly even noticed. Because having had this conversation with you, I just realized you were DB. Like there was no struggle at home. You know, your chore box was full, kinda. You understand? Everything was cool. But then you lived it nicely. You know what I mean? Like you lived it calmly and you fit in nicely. Like you lived like you were some hardcore guy, Bia, was your but you know, you're able to navigate between the up and down, you fit in nice. Yeah. In John or campus now, like it was nice.
I
This
mean,
conversation has opened up. Yeah.
I have no comment on that. No comment on that. Yeah, but that's your own
Yeah, because
observation. Yeah,
uh,
but
yes,
maybe
yes, yes.
other people might say something entirely different. Of course, many of the things I said came as a bit of surprise to you as well. So
Oh yes.
yes, I was there, but I hardly kind of talk about myself a lot. You get me?
Mhm,
I think personally, those are some of the things that I learned whilst growing up. That sometimes it's it's not just about blowing your own trumpet or talking about your story or something like that. You take the cue out from them, and then of course you kind of just make observations. And if it interests somebody to ask, then of course
mhm,
people might want to ask and get to know you more. But
mhm.
you don't kind of go out there telling your story as it is. It wouldn't make your story more relevant,
Interesting. Yeah.
or interesting if you keep talking about them that much, really. So those are some
Yeah.
of the things. But yeah.
When the time is right,
When the
the
time is right,
stories. Yeah.
we chip in and we talk quite a lot of stuff. I mean, of
Yeah.
course, we
Yeah.
can talk and talk about certain things.
Mm,
I wouldn't necessarily say that it has been within the 25 years have been that perfect and smooth. There's been a lot of challenges.
of
There's been
course.
difficult moments, ups and downs. You lose certain things and then you gain certain things, and so on and so forth. So it is stuff that sometimes you leave things to God, you pray about them, and then God does the bidding.
Of course. Now, two more questions and then we'll part ways. But before then, before those ones, is there like a question that you were expecting that I was going to ask you? Or is there like a statement or a story that you wanted to talk about that I didn't lead you to it that you would want to share?
Not
Or
really.
you think
I
we've
mean,
covered enough?
I
Yeah.
think you've done a great job. You've tried to get me to talk more about certain things that, to me, I thought a lot of people don't know, like my family life kind of thing. Like, I think this is the first time I've openly made this admission.
Now, I want you to tell the current students of Fijai Secondary School, advise them because, of course, they are youngsters. So, what advice would you send out to the current student of Fijai? who would definitely watch this?
I I think my advice to them is to take their learning seriously because one, they wouldn't know where it's gonna take them. That's the first thing.
Mhm,
And then secondly, they should also get themselves involved in extracurricular activities in school, because that obviously open up their social skills. I think from my experience, I've come to realize that um, there is that academic skills that you acquire, and that is what actually would get you into a job, for example. But to really kind of um, enjoy the work environment, you need the social skills.
mhm,
And that's
mhm,
what would make you who you are as a person, how to interact with people at your workplaces, building
mhm.
values that would drive the work environment and then your personal growth as well. So I think, the desire to learn should be first because that's why they find themselves on the campus. So their desire to really reach out and then study and get the results is very, very phenomenal. They should do that. And then, of course, while they are interacting with their friends and building those social skills, getting themselves into extracurricular activities, drama group, debating club. I think for now there will be other clubs as well. All those bits and bobs add value to who you are as an individual. And then, of course, when they come into the community as well, be exposed to the community, get themselves involved in other activities. For example, getting themselves with the electoral commission, trying
Mhm.
to use their statistical knowledge, for example, and to help in the correlation of the result. And I think, they should also, try as much as they can to serve when they get home as well in the churches, uh, in the hospitals, for example. Do something that you can put on your CV that you've done this, you've done that. That would open doors for you whilst you're growing up. So I think those are bits and pieces that I would say they need to do to make themselves become what they want to do in the future. Yeah.
Okay. And to our to our classmates who are also
Yeah,
started all the.
I think, of course, I mean, you know, these are big men and women out there already. We can't really say much, but hey, guys, I think you've done phenomenally well. I think you've been many of us who are on the platform see what goes on there, the togetherness, the love, the friendship. It's phenomenal. I think just keep up the good work. Just keep the love and as the Bible says, that let us share in abroad. We need that amongst ourselves, and then let's all come together to kind of push one agenda. If there's anything that we need to do as a team, as a group, we can also do to enhance whatever that we need to achieve basically. So, well done to all of you guys. Those, I think, majority of us are already on a platform. It's only probably left with a few people who
Mhm.
haven't joined as well. But then, if you have the chance on this video and you watch till this moment and you are under the sound of my voice, you can be assured that the platform is quite strong and then we're doing really well. So come join us. Let's all share um, opinions. Let's share, um, perspectives and different approaches that we understand that would enhance our development through at this particular moment of our lives. Really.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Adisco Bernard Assuon Jr., for making time for this conversation. I appreciate your time and I appreciate your presence as well. I appreciate the advice and all the contributions that you've also extended to the group for the well-being of the school. Thank you so much. And to you that have watched this conversation till this point, you are the superstar. Thank you so much for for spending time with us. But remember to subscribe to Zaki Media TV. And also remember that we have a Facebook page, Zaki Media page, that is on Facebook, Zaki Media Talk on TikTok, the talk is TOK, and also Zaki_media on Instagram. We are going to spread this message on all our social media platforms, and of course also on most of the Fijai Secondary School platform. We're going to put these conversations there so that whatever we've discussed would also go out there for other people to hear. Remember, good is good if no one does it, and bad is still bad if everybody does it. My name is Razak Kofi. Just stay on, scroll up for the next edition of this show. Thank you very much for your time.